Hey there, everybody. Ginger Holton here from Champagne Nutrition. I just wanted to stop by and wish you a happy 2022 and talk about resolutions and goals versus word of the year. I think that resolutions have turned into sort of this negative connotation, right? It's like you set these goals, they're totally outlandish, you burn out in 2 to 4 weeks, and by February, they're a distant memory because life marches on and change is hard. And I don't know, I feel like resolutions are somehow dated or they're just not as relevant anymore. But I'm here to tell you that actually, I think goal setting in the new year is really powerful and make a case for resolutions. But I also want to contrast resolutions with word of the year because word of the year is the more common thing to do, I would say, in the past like 5 years. And I think there's a lot of benefit for that too. And it might be something that you can stick with more easily and create as your theme for the entire year. I think that's one thing that can keep you going more of the 12 months ahead. So, I do actually have a new downloadable. I will put a link to it in the comments. And really, what it is it's about 2022 resolutions. And what I called it is back to basics because I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist. And what I find is that I'm constantly teaching people like how to eat more veggies, right? And how much water you should drink and how much added sugar you should limit and how much you should exercise. But the thing is, when you work with me, we work on exactly how to put those things into your life. But there's no reason that you shouldn't know all those things right now. There's very clear guidance on exercise. There's very clear guidance on activity, like how many minutes a day, how much saturated fat, how much added sugar, how many veggies. Like I can tell you all of that, and a lot of you are going to be able to take that and run with it. So please grab my downloadable. Again, I'll put the link down below because I think that this is a really great place to start. Instead of going on a crash diet or weird program where you eat fake food or another detox or all these different things that are just going to cause you pain and suffering in the future, let's get back to basics for 2022. I think that's actually a theme that we're seeing in general in the world right now. Like, let's settle it down and just do the hard work that we know we're supposed to do and let that speak for itself. So if you do want to do resolutions or goals or even just get back to a more normalcy after the holidays, grab my guide and I think that'll help you a lot. But I want to talk about word of the year because I'm really seeing some very clear trends. This has been a little bit of a rough entry into 2022. We've been through a lot the past couple of years, especially with the pandemic. And so what I'm hearing as common themes are words like momentum, moving forward or flow, like let's get going again. I'm also seeing things like patience, having patience and grace with yourself. A lot of people are just trying to get by right now. Things have been really challenging. So let's reflect on what that means. I'm also seeing one that I like a lot called resilience. And that's one that I'm seeing as trends all over the place in the news. And I think that's actually perfect for this time of year. So when you go online, you can find like hundreds and hundreds of pages of what should your word be. But instead of just looking at a list, I really think you should reflect on what does that mean to you and what do you need in your life. So those actually are wonderful. Momentum, flow, patience, resilience, those are wonderful. And I think they all actually have a tie to food, nutrition, health, and lifestyle. And of course, I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist. That is the name of the game for me. And so I'm always interested, how do my clients use the word to create better outcomes for themselves? So all of those have a lot of crossover in my mind. So for myself, and again, this is just for me, and I'm happy to share it with you if it speaks to you. But what I choose doesn't have to be what you choose. But I'm kicking around a couple, and I'd love to get a couple comments from you on what you think I should choose, or what stands out to you more. One is balance. And the reason for that is because before the pandemic, I feel like I didn't even realize that I was out of balance. I was doing so many things. I was traveling around the world every day. I was actually kind of burned out maybe, and I didn't even realize it. And so I was out of balance. Then when the pandemic hit, I just went, stop everything. And for the past couple of years, I actually think I've swung pretty far the other way. I think I needed that. But again, the other day I woke up and I was like, am I in my true balance right now? And so one thought that I had for the coming year is, what does it look like to to find that new normal, to actually find balance? I don't know if I can really put a finger on what that means. So I'm just wondering for you, is balance a good word for this year? Maybe it's a word for 2023. Maybe we need one more year on that one. The one that I'm actually considering picking more though is the word joy. And I know that that's very broad word. It can mean a lot of things, and it's not very specific, but I wanted to tell you what it means to me and how it relates to food and nutrition. Of course, balance, really can relate to food nutrition. That's a big thing that I work on with my clients. Let's let go of all or nothing thinking. Let's take a gratitude for our body's approach, every food fit approach, and let's just, find what works for you without being crazy restrictive, all or nothing. So balance makes a lot of sense for food nutrition. But joy, I think, needs to be found no matter what's going on. So even if you're frustrated, even if you're having a hard year, even if you're having a health crisis, even if you're in a pandemic, even if you're at home, what does joy look like? And how can you find joy in the small moments? Or how can you find joy in food again? Or how can you find exercise that you really, really love? How can you see going to sleep earlier as joyful and fun and feeling good versus a punishment? Right? How can you remember to drink water? Here's my LaCroix right here. Um, so that it's not like, oh, I have to drink water, but I'm not thirsty. Instead, tuning into your body and be like, my body needs water. I'm going to do that for my self care. So, those are the things that I'm thinking about for joy and how they relate to food and nutrition. So anyway, leave me a comment below about whether you think I should choose balance this year or joy this year. And I'm really interested to hear what you have to say. And I'm just also interested, what word are you picking if you're picking a word? Or are you going to go the resolution route? Or does none of this speak to you at all? And you're just kind of here to say hello. Let me know down below. Again, I'll put the link. Thank you for joining and listening. And I will be back every Monday this year, actually. I'm committing to coming and chatting with you about health and nutrition and registered dietitian stuff on Mondays. So I'll see you again really soon.